Welcome back, Tarot fam. I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner and psychic for over 35 years. In this video, this is Two for Tuesday, we talked about the Russia disclosure from Tulsi Gabbard in the first video, talked about Obama being involved in that. Go check it out if you want. This is part two, a little bit of lighter fare. We're going to talk about Melania Trump and her strategic reemergence into the public eye since the election and inauguration. So we'll be right back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I do not read on Melania Trump quite enough. She has been horribly maligned by some of the press. She is an absolutely stunning woman. Did she have an interesting life in the modeling world? Yes, I'm going to say so. She's approximately the same age as me. I think she might be like a couple of years older or a couple of years younger. I know we're not exactly the same age. I think she is stunning. I love those blue eyes, and I am very happy to have her as First Lady of the country. I think that she brings a certain elegance to the role that has not been seen for a long time. So let's talk about her strategic reemergence. So we did see her disappear from the campaign trail significantly to the point that some of the outlets were asking, "Where's Melania? They must be breaking up." So I don't think that she was. I think she was sorting things out. I think they knew that they were going to win. She had one kid either finishing up high school or going to college or whatever he was doing. That's a lot. It's a lot when you have that going on, despite how much help you have around your place. It really is a lot. So we're going to see how that quiet reemergence served her well. We're also going to look at the possibility of her getting back on that Vogue cover. Or Anna Wintour has left. Famously, Anna Wintour only had her on the Vogue cover once, and it was when she married Donald Trump. So we're going to see if we get to see her back on the front cover of Vogue. That would be nice to see her celebrated as the glorious, gorgeous woman that she is. So since we are seeing her reemerge, we're going to talk about how that looks and what her goals are. Let's bring up that card view. As always, hit the like button and we're off to the races. So what role is Melania emerging into now? She's got Barron off at college. She has step grandchildren galore. Got her husband dodging pew pew, all that stuff. What role is she stepping into now? 10 of Wands. I think this tells us a lot about why she was missing in action. She was putting things in place so that they would run on rails. So what does that mean? For me in my business, it's about putting posts on automatic. So I set them up at the beginning of the week and they post all through the week. It's about sending out mailers automatically, those kinds of things. For Melania Trump, I'm sure it is a much grander process. I'm sure there's much, much more involved here. But she was getting things in order. There was a point during the campaign that some of the leaders said, "We got this in the bag. You got to get your act together and go sort out all of the planning and prepare to be back in the White House, because there's no way that you guys are not going to be back in there." So that's the reason why we saw her disappear. I think that is starting to dissipate, and we are now moving into the future. 9 of Cups the High Priestess in reverse, and the Four of Swords. So I do think that she's going to be taking on some um, interesting charities and things to illuminate. The kids are coming to mind very much. So Barbara Bush famously had the literacy campaign, and if you have not read her book Millie, it was written by her, and it was the images were pictures of their dog Millie, and Millie has puppies, and it's Barbara Bush said she was ugly because she had yellow eyes, and it's written from the perspective of the dog, and it was to support literacy with children, and I thought it was one of the greatest books ever. So if you have a chance, take a look at it. But I do think that Melania is going to lean into some more literacy programs, but they're not going to be cookie cutter from the Barbara Bush format. It's going to be more of learning. In the first administration, Melania had presented the Be Best program, which was really reaching your potential, reaching beyond your potential, having those stretch goals for children and young adults as they're learning. She also participated greatly in the Take It Down bill that was just passed recently, which was for any kind of indecent postings and blackmail and those sorts of things. So I thought that that was a wonderful thing. Harry and Meghan famously put out, I've said famously like several times today, they did put out an announcement on their website that they were celebrating that as well. And I don't think they were celebrating Melania Trump getting it done, but I think they were celebrating it because they have things to hide on their own. So is she moving toward a more prominent public position and presence? Six of Wands, Four of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Knight of Swords in reverse, Ace of Wands in reverse, and the Four of Swords. I think that we're going to see her strategically sprinkled across the public performances. I don't think that it is the intention of the Trump administration to aggressively promote Melania Trump as First Lady, capital letters, neon, flashing, flashing, flashing. I don't think that that's their intention. I think their intention is for her to be more of a traditional spouse, wife, trad wife, and decorate for Christmas. Can't wait to see the Christmas decorations this year. I do think that he wants her to create an image of mother and wifehood that is beautiful and progressive and still very, very classic. I think really that's it. We're going to be looking at the trad wife being transitioned into the classic woman. I think that's going to be kind of the promotion because she is big and beautiful and wearing stilettos and has the makeup on, and she's still decorating the house, running the household, the White household. I think that there's going to be more of a presentation of her as that versus working mom that goes and is actually aggressively campaigning for different things. I think she is a true queen in the sense that she whispers. We all talk about the kings and queens in tarot, the king's command, the queen's whisper. So she's going to be whispering and influencing from the sanctity and safety and structure of home. So I think we're going to see some very interesting presentations of her moving through the second tenure of the Trump administration as a very, very strong woman that family-oriented women can look up to. That's what I think we get here. Is it a great look? It's not a great sell for some people. Some people are like, no, I want to go to work. I want to, get back to work and contribute to the household. Some people are going to say that. And I think there will be naysayers that say the economy doesn't allow for those kinds of stay-at-home trad wife situations, but you can still take great great pride in that artistry, because it really is artistry when you're running a household. How is Melania feeling right now about her husband's work? Being a trad wife doesn't mean you can't have an opinion. Four of Cups, Nine of Swords. She is very, very worried about him every day. Every day. Six of Cups, the Chariot. There is a anxiousness about her to get the next 3 years done. And I think perhaps when we saw her doing all that planning, maybe there is some planning on her part for getting the H out of there. I think she really, and a lot of people said this, she doesn't want him to have a second administration. She doesn't want him to have a second term. This reading says that to me, that she's ready for him not to have a second term. It would have been easier to just go about their days, go about their business. I think she got very comfortable in the last 4 years of being a regular person and not a public servant. And now she's back in the public servant. And there's something about this administration for her, the second term, that it's almost consummating them in this certain characterization. They're being confirmed as political targets forever. And I think she's almost of the opinion, if we'd just not moved forward with this, we would have been fine. Things would have been fine. But now, the rest of our lives, we're going to be doing this. You're not, Melania. Don't worry about it. Everybody's watching out for you. Everybody's watching out for your husband. So, let's give her a little yellow brick road. Let's do a little yellow brick road for her. For Miss Melania. Miss Melania. Where is she now? King of Wands. Not sure what to do. That is her yellow brick road. She's just not entirely sure that she can flex her wants and desires because she's being assigned responsibilities. Wicked Witch of the West, things she has to watch out for. Nine of Pentacles, hiding out in the house. Don't hide out in the house. Get out, flex your legs, do your thing. The ruby slippers for her is the Knight of Swords. So the ruby slippers, the negative talk about her is going to fuel her. Tin Man, this is her ally, is the Seven of Wands, the balance and the players that she has in the family. This is, and I don't know what her relationship is with the stepkids, with Eric, Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Tiffany. I don't know what her situation is with them, but she can rely on them in this reading. That's what this reading says. The detour to avoid is death. Don't try and make any stark changes. No progression into something else. So if she's thinking about getting divorced, I don't think she is. Don't do it yet. We've got plenty of time for that. And where does all this lead? What is her Emerald City? The Four of Swords. Time to wake up. Time to act. Time to roll up your sleeves and get involved. So that's what I have to say about it. That is her yellow brick road. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you would like your own magical reading or yellow brick road reading, you can hit the link down below, book a meeting with me, and we can sit around, we can throw some cards, and we can talk about how you can obtain your very best future. So thank you so much for sticking around. Again, I'm Annabelle, tarot practitioner for over 35 years, and I will see you in the future.